Hello. I can't hear. Hear me? I can't hear you. I don't know what happened to the sound. I can't hear.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Girl, I'm telling you, trying to do something. Yes. Girl, I'm trying to do something.
That's how it is, right? Yeah. When you're trying to do something. Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you able to hear me now?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We're had good.
To mute the tab for Facebook because I was hearing it while I'm talking to you.
Got you.
Started. I'm telling. So how was your day so far?
My day was good. It was busy, productive, but yeah, very busy.
I'm so glad we were able to connect today and get things going here. But I'm going to repeat, introducing you because I don't think they were able to hear me. The volume was crazy. Guys, I'm so sorry. If you're joining in with us live right now, or if you're going to be tuning into this later at a later time, just know I was having some issues with getting my volume set. But it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's
yes,
all good.
Girl. So, yeah. Can you tell us about the name of your show that you work for and your title?
Yeah, so I am. It's actually four of us. Three of my classmates. We formed the 97 show. So it started out as more of like a radio show, but now we're doing a podcast thing. So I think it's better now that we are not live, because being live is not easy. So we're just trying to do the podcast route, but we've been doing it since last August, I think. So it's still new. It's the 97 show, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think they're even on Roku now, but I don't know how to get on that. But yeah. So it's just a show about us, the Black community, and we talk about everything.
That's a good topic. About the Black community, especially in the mental health and in the health, especially for women. That's something. Yeah. I worked a little bit on a documentary that is talking about fibroids, and especially in the Black women community. And I can't wait to introduce my other guest. She's the one that is the ambassador for fibroids, and I can't wait to get her on so she can kind of talk a little bit about that. But that's good. You guys actually have a platform to be able to talk about topics that we really need to hear, and hear the voices of so many people that may not be heard in mainstream, or maybe heard in mainstream, but we need to talk about the stories that some people are too scared to talk about.
Right. Or, right. Everything that affects our community. You know what I mean?
You're right.
From mental illness. And actually one of the co-hosts, Dr. Nikki, she actually just got her doctorate in social work. So she's a social worker, and she mostly works with like hospice and mental illness. So yeah, she's a big advocate for that. So yeah, we have a lot of issues that we discuss.
I'm hearing a lot, like you said, especially in our community, I'm hearing a lot about the teenagers, a lot of our young adults and our teenagers, and especially when we were in a season where we kept hearing like almost every day someone committed suicide. And so that's good that you said this is one of your co-hosts that was actually on the show.
Well, yeah, she's a co-host on the show, Dr. Nikki. Yeah.
That is good that she is doing that and being a part of that community. Also, I wanted to talk about how extraordinary you are. That's one reason why I have you on. The reason why, the reason why I wanted you a part of the show is because we had this special connection. We pretty much grew up together. We're family. We're pretty much family, and you've known me since I was a kid, little girl.
Right, same, yeah.
Yeah, but you have grown, and like I've watched you from afar, and I think you have grown into this woman. And like I've actually watched your show before when it was on live, and I watched you guys talk about topics that was really great for the community. So I have been watching from afar, and like, I definitely have to have her on this show, especially when I'm in launching my book, my new love. Secrets. It's a novel. It's a fiction novel. But guess what? In my book, I talk about those issues in the community. My characters, the main character, London, she is a woman that's in a woman of faith, and she is encouraging women when it comes down to mental health. So that's one reason why I was so happy that you touched on that. But enough about me and my book and all. But it's about you right now. I want to get more into asking you some more questions about you. And you talked about your show. What are some of the things that you're passionate about doing?
Things that I'm passionate about. Well, for one, my number one main love right now is my new granddaughter. She's 10 months, Naomi, and it's like, I can't even really put it into words. The feeling, it's just a different, you have your kids, and of course we love our kids, but I don't know. It's just, this little girl has completely gave me new life, if that makes any sense. It's like, wow, a whole new purpose, And so that's one thing that I'm very passionate about, is just being available. Just to be there for her and my son and my daughter-in-law, and to be able to help them in whatever they need. But another thing I'm passionate about is serving. I've always been a caring person, very compassionate, but I don't know, I guess it can be kind of like a good and a bad thing, because I see good in everybody. So sometimes that can be a blessing and a curse, But yeah, I see the good in it.
Or you can pour out so much.
Yeah.
You have that in you to give.
Right.
Sometimes you might go through a season where you're depleted. Hopefully you do that, but
I've learned. But yeah, I just love to help people, I guess, to find that place of healing. You know what I mean? We've all experienced traumatic things. We've been through all types of relationships, ups and downs and all that. But when I find somebody that is like, I don't know, maybe they struggle with mental illness, maybe they struggle with drugs and alcohol, that type of stuff is like, I'm just passionate. And I just want to take them and I just want to, you know, help them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
So that's like where my heart is. It's always, I mean, I used to work in the jails.
Oh, really?
That's kind of my.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since I was 19. So yeah. So I started out working in like corrections, and then I worked at drug and rehab facilities, and then I've also worked in ministry. So to me, it all kind of ties into the same thing, you know. But yeah.
Wow, I did not know that you was a correctional officer. Is that
Mm-hmm.
your title?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah. Corrections, detentions.
A lot of patience, a lot of strength, and you have to be a special person to be able to do that.
Right.
Yes.
Very true.
What makes you unique?
No. I think what makes me unique is, for one, I show up as myself. You know, I'm just me, you know.
Yes.
I've always just I'm happy with the way that God made me. And I'm okay with my flaws and my weaknesses, you know, the good and the bad. It is what it is. I'm just me, you know. Um what makes me unique? A lot of people tell me, friends, family, I'm like the go-to person that everybody call. You know, they say I'm a good listener. I'm able to give advice without judgment. So a lot of people feel comfortable, I guess, to be able to open up and talk to me. So I guess I would say that's a unique thing. And yeah, just really being able to see the good in people. Like I'm always like, well, maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's, it could be a little bit of naiveness. I don't know, but that's just who I am. I don't know.
Especially if you're in ministry, especially if you like to pray for people, and you have a heart for that. I think a lot of people in intercessory prayer, or if they just want to be in ministry, I think you really have to be being a believer or a woman of faith or a man of faith, here you're going to have that. You're going to want to help people naturally, But when it goes to take you down the road of ministry, I think you have to have a special heart. Like, I really believe God, he put something in you, and it's like you can't get away from it. It comes up naturally. You're not trying to do it. You're not trying to be something. It's in you to do it. So I think, especially when you are a Christian and you're called to a certain type of ministry, it's in you. You can't run from it. You said something that was really good. You said, I like to show up as me. And I think in this generation, so many people want to be they want to be other people. They want to be this, they want to be that. 1 minute they're 1 minute they want to do this, 1 minute they want to do that. And it's okay to have different things that you're passionate about doing, because we all have people would not know that I can actually I can create I can take wood and material and make a whole album. They might know me as the writer or the poet, but I can definitely do other things.
Right.
So what I'm talking about is when people don't know who they are and they begin to just start doing things and not take time to connect with God and learn their purpose and what they really are good at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And showing up as themselves and doing the very things that they're unique in doing, that they were created to do, basically.
Right.
So that's good that you said that, hey, the one thing I am, unique in is just being me, accepting me, embracing myself, showing up, and bringing myself to the table. What's that thing they say?
What you see is what you get.
Awesome. Well, in light of my book, Love and Secrets, it's a book about relationships. It's the novel actually stemmed from my first novel, and it's called It's Not Just a Good Thing, It's a God Thing. And it started out with a young lady named London being single. and looking for love in all the wrong places. And so many women, that may be still single, may can relate to her and so, at some point in your walk. And then you might mature and don't mind being by yourself, and don't mind being alone for, until you get it right. Not saying you don't want nobody, but you don't tell anybody just for the sake of it. You don't mind waiting and pursuing, not pursuing, but you don't mind waiting for that special person that you can actually and have something in common with. So the second novel is about her being married, her finding that person, connecting with that person. I'm hearing so many women want to be married, and you are married. What can you really tell single women about, we've got so many women want to be married, right? And we're single.
Right.
And you tell them that they should out they're single before that happened, like preparing, or what do you think they should be doing?
Preparing before, I would say the main thing is make sure that your heart is good. Make sure that you're healed, from past relationship hurt. It could be some traumatic things that happened in your childhood. A lot of people have been molested and, just whatever it is, daddy issues, mommy, whatever the issues are. I think that would be the number one thing for me, is to do the work that needs to be done to make sure that your heart is pure and that you are ready to receive that mate, because marriage in itself, it comes with work. And so if you already got all this other stuff going on, you're going to bring that into your marriage no matter what. It's coming with you. And I think some people probably think, oh no, that he didn't do it, but trust me, it's all of that ready to dump it on him. So I would say
that's good.
Get healed. And I had to do all that myself.
That's good. Because a lot of people think marriage solves everything. Like, I just need somebody I can be
with. It exposes all of it. It just exposes all of your issues. All of us. That's what it does.
It's amazing because I've been single for a while. And almost Sierra, you know that song when she but I have been single for a while. The reason why is because in 2012 I wanted to do what you just said. I wanted to heal. I could have jumped into relationships. I met great guys. I met great people. There was a young man on Instagram, IG, and he had a post talking about he didn't understand why Christian women were waiting 10 or 7 and all these long years to get married. And I'm thinking, some of us, it's not that we're choosing to really wait. We just haven't found somebody that was compatible, or, somebody
worthy.
Compatible. So it's not that we're trying to say we're waiting on God and we're not doing the work and talking to people, being open, and I do know that there are women out there that say they are waiting, but they don't want to, venture out there. They don't want to even talk to somebody. They're looking for like a major sign to come out the sky.
I probably would say something that a lot of people might not agree with.
No, say it.
But it's true. Yes, I know that we are, as believers, that we believe God. Yes, we know God can do everything, but he is not going to have a man ring your doorbell and just show up and be like, I'm here. He is not that concerned about your love life. He's just not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To that degree where he's not going to physically take somebody and put them in front of you. Like, you have to get involved, do things that you like, get active, not just for the sake of trying to do something to get a man, but for the sake of living your life, enjoying your life, and you might meet somebody.
Yeah. But you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. You might actually meet somebody, but doing the work. So when you do get married, basically you want to come into their marriage at least healed, not toxic. You don't want to have so many broken parts and not putting in the work. Because sometimes a lot of believers, we can go to church. We love church. Nothing wrong with church. We love God. But sometimes we can dance around and praise God, but we never do the work in getting healed. Like sometimes you might have to go to a therapist. I have.
Yes.
I've actually you got to understand my background.
That's true.
I've experienced, some tragic things in my early 20s and losing my kid's father. And then later on down, falling in love again and then losing a baby. And so I needed that therapy. I took time. I deliberately said, you know what? I'm not going to date. I'm going to wait on God. In this season, I knew I needed to heal. So in 2012, I spent my time healing, being active, going to plays, but sometimes I would go by myself. That seemed so lonely, right? I was having fun.
No.
I was meeting people. I had friends. Sometimes I would hang out with my girlfriends and we would do movie night, or we would go to art museums. We would go to different things. And I was enjoying my life and enjoying myself from 2012, 13, 14. And along the way, around 2014, I began to feel like God was saying, you know what? When he comes, open up. Now you can open up. Now you can meet people, like talk to people. And because if you don't talk to nobody, you're not going to have nobody. So open up, get to know other people. And so in 2014, I started opening up more when it came down to the, meeting somebody, and still just letting God do what he do. And I do my part,
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So how is that? I mean, how is he going? Is that another?
Let me tell you, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about myself and what I want, and it changes.
Yeah,
it does change. I met some great guys, but I have noticed a lot of guys, when they meet you, the ones that are really bold and very intentional, they'll let you know what they're looking for. They ended up being not the one. Like they ended up being too bold, way on the and the ones you want to be bold, and they end up being where you don't know if they want you just as your friend. So that's
it's a little challenging.
And I believe I'm not the only woman that have experienced a season where you get the men coming, but you don't know what they want. Like, are they scared, or do they think you don't like them? So I really want somebody, number one, to make their intentions known, be brave. I don't want to have to tell you anything. When it comes down, I shouldn't have to say, hey, so what are we doing?
Right.
If I say that, that means you're not making it clear to me. So I'm just
which is a red flag,
Yeah.
That's like all the flags are out,
Yeah. So that's kind of like where I'm at. But I really just, I think basically, I really wholeheartedly just been pouring myself into my business and my books. And I think God is like, okay, But I got some more questions for you about your career-wise. When you got married, did your career change?
When I got married,
like, what were you doing the same thing, but when you were single, or did you go through a career change when you got married?
I guess when I got married, I was in full hustle mode, by the way. When we started dating, I was working a lot. So I was not even thinking about a relationship or anything like that. So after that, yes, I completely changed careers. I went from working, I guess you can say, like in rehabs and stuff like that, into ministry.
Wow.
working that day start on the front line. So it was completely different and new. It was more of a structured background, environment, I guess you can say. I wasn't used to that. I was used to just, in the jail, anything can happen at any time.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was a challenge because I was a newlywed working the weirdest hours, so I didn't see him a lot. We didn't see each other a lot. So that was kind of a challenge, but he got to spend a lot of time with the kids. So they were like teenagers, young adult, young teenagers or whatever. So they got to spend a lot of time, but I kind of felt like our hours were completely different. So it was a challenge. We had to really be intentional with communicating as newlyweds, and then fast forward, COVID happened. I don't know if God knew something was coming, but I actually left that company like a few weeks before the whole COVID thing happened.
Wow.
So after that, it definitely was a shift because now we were almost like stuck together like glue, And I know a lot of people broke up during that time because outside was shut off, everything was shut down. But actually my husband and I, we really connected and we thrived and we really enjoyed being together and just having that time. So I think it was needed, and now we're going to be working even closer together. We're going to be working together eventually. He just retired, so we're going to start a business and we'll be kind of like working together. So I think that was like a test to see if we could do it.
Girl, I love that. You know why? It's funny you even mentioned that because so in my novel, Love and Secrets, London, and I relate to her because I believe what she's going through in the book and the stories can relate to what we are going through. She is relatable, because in the book she is leaving corporate. She left corporate now that she's married. And it slowed her down because she used to be busy traveling. I had her, in the book, she's traveling and going here. So she didn't have time for really nothing. And so now she's married, she was able to start her own ministry, start her own, business herself with her ministry and encouraging women and webinars. And even though she is really active in the ministry and she had to learn balance with her husband, but there's something in the book that I don't want to give a spoiler alert, but it causes them, it brings them together and it makes their union stronger. And so when I hear you say that you and your husband is getting ready to start your own business, I believe marriage, I think that's a great thing, but I also believe sometimes when God bring you into a union with someone, you're able to complement each other. And you should be able to start things. So when I hear, like, there's a saying that's going around, what you bring to the table, like with the singles now, to me, you want to answer that? When you hear that, have you heard that before? The little saying,
everybody is
what you bring to the table,
I've been hearing that everybody is, I'm chasing a bag and everything is about the bag. That's good, but I don't agree with, I know that's kind of different, but I don't agree with chasing a bag at all. Just keep your focus on God, your relationship with God, and he'll guide you through all that. The bag is going to come. That's going to come. You're working, so the bag is coming. But yeah, all the rules and stuff with dating, it's not really that serious.
Because
it's not that serious.
You know what? It's crazy though, because I get when I hear guys, what do you do? And it's nothing wrong with those questions. Don't get me wrong, because you're trying to get to know the person you're meeting. But there's some people that really deliberately are looking for a certain type of person when it comes down to finances or when it comes down to titles. And to me, I believe, like you're saying, I believe what you should be looking for is substance, character.
Yes.
If you are faith in God, because yours can change.
Right.
You're, like you just said, when you got married, you were working all these many hours, and then when COVID hit, God had you slow down so you can actually spend more time with your husband and family. Yeah. And I bet you loved it. I mean, I bet you enjoyed it. And then now God is bringing you guys together to do something else on another journey, a business venture. So I believe, when I hear people talking about, what you bring to the table, I'm bringing myself to the table.
I have never been asked that. I think you just let things flow, like you said. None of that stuff, because that can change. Then what? So I need to know what kind of person are you? Do you love your mom? What kind of relationship do you have with your kids, with your parents? Are you consistent? If you say you want to call me back, or things like that, I need to know what kind of heart you have.
Yes.
Like all that other stuff, what do you bring to the table? Like, what does that mean? To me, it's just about your morals and the old school way.
Yeah.
I'm
with you the old school way.
Yeah, I'm not asking nobody, well, what do you bring to the table? Because I got a car, I got a house, I got okay.
I don't need no man because I got my own bag. Then why are you willing to be in a relationship?
Right.
Or like you hear
we're all adults, so we all have those things.
Thank you. That's good.
Or we're working toward that.
Can you build with me? My biggest thing is, can you build with me? What you have to offer? What is your faith? Can you pray for me when if I'm going through something? Can you encourage me? And whatever he can do, whatever I want him to do, I will be able to do the same thing to him.
Right.
It's called reciprocity.
Right.
It should be able, if I give, you should be able to give back.
Right.
And so that's what, I'm in a season where, as a single woman, that's the thing I'm looking for. Substance, your foundation, like you just said earlier, character. That makes a big difference. I met men that make very good money, nice looking men that I found now that they were nice looking to me.
Right.
But that moved me. If I couldn't have a conversation with you that was of substance, I couldn't really. And these men were they claimed to be of faith, so that wasn't even an issue. It was just that we were incompatible, and to me, they didn't have enough substance for me for what I was doing. And when I say substance, I'm really talking about like integrity, valuing what I like. If I tell you this is who I am, and these are the things that I value. If you don't have you trying to get me to do things outside of that, it's
right. And that's okay. It's just not. It's just not going to work out. And that's okay too. And then along the journey of getting to know somebody, just by conversation, spending time, you'll find out things naturally without even having to ask them specifically, what do you bring to the table? You'll know. You'll know it.
You see their character. I try not to ask a lot of stuff in the beginning. I just have a natural conversation because I don't want to tell you so much about me that you try to pretend to be what I
exactly.
But at the same time, I don't like to waste time. So there's some questions like for me, and I know a lot of women of faith may not be on this journey, but I practice abstinence. Like I'm not having sex before marriage. Now, of course, I have done that before. I've lived that life where I had sex before marriage. Now I have to be honest. When men do want to pursue me or talk to me, that's not the first thing I say. I do have a natural conversation, let them know me, let them get to know me for me. But that is something I do share with them kind of early on, because some men told, like some guys would tell me straight up, well, I'm glad you shared that with me. I'm not going to waste no time because I can't do that.
Right.
You know?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, instead of me getting attached to somebody and then tell them that later, and then they tell me that, then then that would be crazy. So I try to let people know who I am and my values, and I respect that. I tell them, oh, I respect that, and I keep it moving. But I have one last question for you before we wrap it up. Have you ever experienced unexpected challenges in your life while you're married, and how did you deal with that? It could be anything. You did kind of mention something like that. You said COVID, but
Yeah, there is something that comes to mind. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a very vocal person. I'm not quiet, I'm not shy. I do this, I can do all that, right? So usually I can be completely upfront and I can tell my man this is what's on my mind, good or bad, right? But those unexpected challenges can, oh my God, it can really it can cripple your marriage, and it can make it very difficult, because if you are usually a communicator, and then when it's something that's difficult, and it could be something embarrassing, it could be something that's just completely uncomfortable, right? That you just do not want to talk about, it can silence you. And if you're silenced, then it can start to build up a resentment toward your mate. And so we experienced something specifically that comes to mind that I did not want to talk about, and I had to force myself.
Oh, okay.
I had to force myself to talk about it. And I'm gonna be honest, it's still a challenge, and we're working through that.
Okay, that's
but,
good.
We talk about it and try to find, do what we can, but it's not easy. But you have to, for the health of your marriage. You know what I mean? To keep that openness, and because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And it might be something that you like, what? I don't know what to do. I have never heard of this, experienced it. I have no clue. But you can pray and ask God, give me the right words, help us, give us the wisdom, give us the understanding we need to, to get through it, talk about it, have the conversation, and do what needs to be done, so you can move on, because there's something else coming around the corner later. So check that off the list. Yeah. So,
good. You are so good. I'm glad you mentioned that when you said you can be so vocal, because that's one thing I have to pray. God has really healed me. But it's not all the way gone. Like all my life I've been a quiet person, right? Not really quiet. Let me take it back. I'm nice. I'm always nice. My mom said this about me. From the time I was a little girl, I could be nice, smile, but if someone pushed me to the limit, I remember, I think my mom said, I was little, it was a neighborhood kid came over, and somehow he got on my last nerve, and girl, I lost it on this kid. And my mom said that I couldn't control her, right? But the thing about it is, as I got older, that same thing that was in me, I could be nice at work, I could be nice here, I can, and people sometimes can take your niceness for weakness, and don't know that if you push you, it's something that would go like left, and you're like, please don't bring her out. Don't do that. But God has really took me from maturing in that area. I really have matured in that area. And so my thing is that when I do get in a relationship, that I keep that like balance out. I don't want to, get fly or you know what I'm talking about? Like
I do. And it also helps when you have a mate that, like, my husband is he's just a peaceful person. So it actually makes it easier for me to bring it all the way back down, because he set a standard in the beginning. Like, you don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to do the black that. Girl thing.
Yeah.
He said that he let me know up in the beginning. You don't have to do all that for me to hear you, because I was used to toxic and those type of relationships where I had to get on that level. And he was like, oh no, you don't have to do that. So I've learned, oh, okay. Oh, so I can just be at the, you know, I can just talk to you. I can have a sweet. He was like, yeah, you know, you don't have to do all that. So I've learned, you know, because he made sure, oh yeah, you can just have a conversation. You don't have to get loud. You don't have to do all that, you know, because men don't like that anyway. You know, at the end of the day, they don't. But that makes it a lot better. And that's how you know you have a good person that you can have a healthy relationship with, that they bring out the best in you. Like with him, I honestly don't think I could even get like that with him. You know what I mean? Because he's just not that type of guy. You don't need to do all that. So
you complement each other in that area where, like you said,
he's very peaceful, patient, and I'm always on 10. So, you know, it's a balance, you know what I mean?
I don't know where we get the black girl thing. I don't know why not all black women, not everybody.
I don't know.
You know, we get that.
I'm loud, you know, and he's like very quiet and just a peaceful guy. So finding that person that's got that good balance that can kind of, you know, keep mellow you out, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, it makes it easy. It does. But if y'all both on 10, then
it's toxic, right?
Yeah.
It's toxic. Yeah. You both on 10, you got a personality, he got a personality. I'm so glad God healed me from like getting ready. But you said something that was really key. When you're with somebody that bring you to that point and you're so used to it, and you get with somebody that doesn't do that, you know, it's totally different. It's a whole different story.
Yeah. But he definitely, that's what I'm saying. He set the tone. You know,
that's good.
He set the tone in the beginning as that man, the head, you know what I mean? Even when we were dating. So he wasn't bringing that type of energy to me. So it's easy for me, you know, and I always say it's natural for a woman to submit.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a natural thing for us to do. So
I'm glad you hit on that, because a lot of women are like, why should I submit? And who said a woman got to submit to a man? And I guess because they don't understand what the word submission means. And a lot of women, especially women of faith, if you have committed yourself with God, even as when you were single, there were a lot of situations where you wanted to go to 10 and God was like, no, come on down. You're not going to do that. No, you're not going to call that person. No, you're not going to do this. And so when you submit with God, you kind of come up under that submission just because of God when you're single. So it should be easy when you have a man, especially like your husband, you know, with his personality and his style. Why not submit to a man of faith and doesn't bring toxic out of you? That's not his.
Because why marry somebody that's not your king, that's not your man? It's like, if you don't respect him, why are you even with him? Why did you accept a proposal? I mean,
some people want the benefits. Some people want what a man can give them, no matter what that is.
Yeah.
But do not want him as a, like, do not want him. What am I trying to say? Don't value him. Don't value what he stands for. If you understand what a husband really stands for. And I believe a lot of women want to get married, but they don't understand sacrifice because they never had to. And a lot of women, like you said yourself, we may not never be perfect, but there is a level of healing. And in that healing, especially women of faith, God does a lot of, like you said, we submit to God, and there's a lot of things God pour into us to get us prepared for that husband. We will never be perfect, but there's some major things that has to take place, you know, before you even get
very
that.
true.
Before you
And a lot of us are addicted to toxicity, and sometimes we don't even know that we are, because we've been in toxic relationship after relationship. So when you finally do meet somebody that is not toxic, it's like you trying to handle them like you did old boy back in the day, and it don't work.
It don't work.
Because guess what? A king is gonna shut it down. He is not he is not trying to hear it. So that's why we just have to, we got to get it together, you know. And I'm not saying that I'm over here just, you know,
perfect.
No. But I respect my husband. I trust his leadership because I know that he has committed himself, his heart, and his life to God.
That's good.
So I trust him wholeheartedly with my heart, and it's just a different level of respect. That even if he wasn't my husband, I respect the man that he is.
Wow.
You know, because he is a true man of God, and he's done the work. You know, because he got his own story to tell. You know, so
you know what? It's funny when you said that. There's something going on right now, and I can't remember I don't know if he was a football player, but he said that Sierra had married a square, Russell. And he had said, this was like probably a few days ago, he said that her type was, what's that guy name?
Future.
Yeah, that was her type, and she only married Russell for money. And so it's this big old thing going on social media, and I'm thinking to myself, women, when you get to a point when you mature, it's not just about how you look. So happened that Russell to me is a handsome guy, but it's not just about your looks, just about your money. She probably married that man because he loved her and she loved him, and he brought what we were just talking about earlier, substance and a lot of things to the table. That is like a dream. That's like a gift. And for most women, you know, we want somebody that is going to listen to us, appreciate us, and somebody that we actually love. We don't just want to get in a situation for money or the way you look or the title you hold. We really want the real thing. So I just kind of laughed at that, which I don't know, Sierra.
It was very laughable. It was laughable. I almost thought he was joking, because to me it was so ignorant, and it just let you know where his mindset is, and it's toxic. It's a lot of what society thinks.
Thank you.
You know, because I'm like, well, if he's corny or whatever he said he was, then I'll take that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll take that. And I mean, as long as, for me, I feel like as long as I know my man can protect me, like physically beat somebody up if they come and try to take my person.
They're not playing. Your husband is
and I'm like, oh. And I think Russell can handle himself, because he sure handled those boys on that field.
I think so too, girl. But I'm gonna wrap it up with you. I have enjoyed this whole conversation with you, and I'm glad you shared so much with us about your career, your marriage, what you saw in your husband, the qualities and things that you looked for, and the things how God healed you. Like you said, before you even met him, God was healing you first, you know, before you even kind of got with him. And so that's something that we really need to know, especially as singles women. We need to make sure that we're not bringing toxicity to the table. Anything else you want to share? Like your your show?
I just want to say, for ladies that are waiting, while you're waiting, I know people say it all the time, just enjoy your life, you know, just enjoy your life. And when the time comes, the right person will come along and you'll be good. Yes, follow us at the 97 Show, Facebook, Instagram. We talk about everything, y'all. But I just want to thank you for having me on here. And you are an extraordinary woman yourself. I'm proud of you, and you have all the qualities that any man could want. So when the time comes, it'll be amazing, and I'll be at the wedding.
Yes, girl, speak that. Keep on speaking that, right? But thank you so much for being here. I guess I'm gonna have to do this again. I don't know when.
Yeah,
you're gonna have
it
to
was fun.
again. All right. Well, you take care. I'm gonna put up, if you can just send me your link to your show. Are you guys still doing it? You guys still doing it?
We tape every Friday, so it's not live, but we are on every Friday. We try to put the shows out around 5:00, but
okay,
yeah, 5 p.m. on Friday.
Then I can post it and share it and
everything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All
well,
right.
thank you so much, and it was good talking to you.
Good talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.